And welcome to the On the Go Post Show with your Go Morning team on WKYC 3 News. I'm Danielle Wiggins with Dave Chadowski, Austin Love, Holly Strano, Maureen Kyle, and Jasmine Monroe. And of course, this is live on Facebook and YouTube, so you always can join us. During the show, we talk to you, but for this On the Go Post Show, we want to talk with you. So feel free to put your perspectives in the comment section. And if you see this video later on YouTube, you can send us an email as well and put a comment there also. Now, right now, it is February, what is it? The 18th, Thursday. Yes, Maureen and I were just talking about how long February seems, but it is Thursday, February 18th. And Dallas and Texas right now, they are really getting the grunt of some really nasty weather. Many people, millions are without power, and it's a hard time. And we do have a local connection because a local couple, they're stuck down there right now. So Jasmine's going to give us a preview, or not a preview, but a perspective on that. And we want to know, do you know someone in the Dallas area, and what are they saying it's like? And then we'll also have ways that you can help out people who are without power, who are really in dangerous situations there. And Jasmine, you said this morning that this couple, that they're even having a hard time finding food.
Yeah, she said that this is the Smith family. Burnetta Smith and her husband went down for Valentine's Day on Saturday to enjoy a nice, quick Houston trip and come back home. Instead, as soon as they landed, the airport shut down. They couldn't find a rental car. They were fortunate enough because they were staying there. They had a hotel, but the hotels were booked up, stores were closing, like literally everything. She's like, the world felt like it was coming to an end, and we just pulled up like late to the party. She was just pretty much explaining the circumstances. She said she was fortunate enough to have power. Then when they went out for food, they weren't able to get back into the hotel because the power then went out. When they got inside of the room, there was no water. She said there were pipes bursting, cars all over the highway. Like the description, talking to her on the phone, I can't even describe what she was going through and what she was feeling. And she was just so calm in the room. And she was just telling me, no, I just had like a fit right before the Zoom call, and I got myself together to be able to just talk to you. She's like, because I'm losing it. She's like, my husband is calm, but honestly, I am losing it. We are stuck inside of a hotel. There's literally nothing you can do. She said they went to Wendy's. The line was about a mile and a half to get a sandwich. They paid $35 for 2 cold cut sandwiches. They were thinking that they were going to spend at least like $500 on this trip altogether, a quick trip to Houston. They've been spending at least $600 a day. They're staying at an expensive hotel, unfortunately. I mean, they're fortunate enough, but it was supposed to be a quick trip to only stay there for 2 days. But now you have to pay for this expensive hotel, and the price is skyrocketed. So it's just, to me, I like the video. I don't know if you guys were looking at the video, if you just hashtag pray for Texas on Instagram and Snapchat. I mean, I saw a fish tank frozen, pools were frozen, hot tubs were frozen. I mean, this video, it's jarring. I mean, I can't believe it. We go through it. I'm looking outside the window. We're prepared for things like this. I'm thinking about the road conditions, the accident that I got a chance to see yesterday. Because people are just, they're panicking at that point. They're trying to get out of Dodge. But when you get in the car, you realize the city is not prepared for icy roads. So that's the most dangerous thing you can do. Yeah. But like, I pretty much asked her, she's like, I'm just fortunate enough to have a place to stay. It is warm inside of this room. She said, but the hotel is like a freezer and your rooms are warm. She doesn't know how they're doing it. They're trying to, conserve energy and preserve energy. I could not imagine. Her kids are here, friends and family are sending them money, offering them money. It's like, it's a nightmare. Like that is truly a nightmare.
And we have some perspective for some people who are online right now. Stephanie Lively, she says that she has a cousin and who lives there, and she was able to get a hotel with kiddos and her dogs with their new baby puppies. And so you're right, you're not expecting to spend that type of money, but you're getting the hotels. And she also says, even bring it back here to Ohio, that her mother's in South Point, Ohio, and hasn't had power in 3 days. Ice storm down there, everything is closed.
Yeah. And to me, to think about something like that, like personally, my boyfriend, he used to work for Cleveland Public Power. He is headed to, actually, he's now in North Carolina. He's preparing for that storm. And I was trying to get a perspective of exactly what was going on. And he was just saying, do you guys remember about when the West Side went out with power? Imagine that during a storm, a snowstorm. It's just, cities have to start preparing for natural disasters. Even if your state doesn't get snow, you have to start preparing for those things. And one of the comments that I got a chance to see yesterday on Instagram was, we weren't prepared for the pandemic. We weren't prepared for the storm. We weren't prepared for the George Floyd and the marches. The only thing we're honestly prepared for is war. We got to start thinking outside of the box of worst case scenarios. So when these things do happen, we are ready to go. I mean, they don't have a salt truck in Texas, not one.
I was telling Dave this morning, because we were talking about just the road conditions and everything. And so Texas is even further south, but I worked in Louisville for my first job, and they got 6 inches of snow. And I had to sleep at work because the roads were so dangerous. They didn't have plows. They had some, but they don't get 6 inches of snow. And I remember calling my dad, who was obviously still up here, and I'm like, how much snow did you get? He goes, no big deal. We got like 6 inches. And then it was a different perspective.
Yeah.
6 inches had me, I could not drive out of get out of the parking lot at work. So I had to sleep there, and we were on vending machine. And that's nothing. Oops, low battery. Oh my God.
Holly might disappear too. I have a low battery on my phone too.
But gosh, I mean, to look at what they're going through in Texas, and then yesterday when they said, well, it could be a month before it's restored in Dallas. And Jasmine, I mean, you talk to that couple, and they're saying the hotel's already running out of food. And if trucks can't get there, I mean, they will eventually. The snow's going to melt. The snow is going to get moved somehow. They're going to get help. But in the meantime, it's like, well, how, when, and keeping food refrigerated, getting trucks of food, supplies to them. It's just,
I'm thinking about the elderly. I mean, those nursing homes. You saw videos of just like people's entire home. They already went through the flooding in Houston. I mean, it's like, can they catch a break? She said that she booked a flight from Spirit, American Airline, any flight that they possibly could get, they booked just in case. But they said that they're not going to be able to at least get a flight until Saturday. They were supposed to leave on Tuesday. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine.
That all the rental cars are out.
Jasmine, you didn't say they were from Bedford. I'm looking at the store.
Yeah,
that's my area. Okay, now I'm got
from Bedford. Now. And she did say, I'm sorry, Dave, but I did want to mention the rental car. She said the rental, like Enterprise, is not allowing them to take the cars. So people were thinking that they were able to just leave. I'm like, well, we'll get a rental car and just leave. The rental car places don't want their cars in accidents. That's going to be multiple cars, and cars are going to be stuck in different states and cities that they're going to have to get back. So they're not even allowed to take a rental car. And if they take a rental car, it'll be reported as stolen. So
isn't that like the selling point of Enterprise rental cars? They're like, hey, take it anywhere.
Yeah.
You get stuck somewhere, you can rent our car. You can get home.
What the heck?
Not in Texas.
It's in the fine print. If it snows in Texas, you're stuck.
Right. Dave, you were about to say something.
That's the fine print.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't own a hotel, but if it is true and they're, raising these prices on the hotels, and, they're going to, obviously this is a place that needs a lot of help right now. Well, that's not helping matters. If you're, and again, I'm not an expert on it. I need to do more research, but if that is the case, man, that's tough. And the other comment I'm going to make too, and I say this, obviously people need to live everywhere, but again, when I see things like this happen, I feel so sorry for these people that have to deal with it. But boy, I'll tell you, it makes Cleveland a lot cozier to me because, we really, how many times do we really deal with stuff like this? Yeah, we have to plow snow and we deal with the headaches of wintertime, but we're lucky, I'm 45 and I've never really dealt with something to this nature in my life living here. And I think we take it for granted sometimes, but you're talking about hurricanes or and granted we could have tornadoes and this and that, but things like this, we're prepared for because that's what we deal with.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Dave, OG says he had a couple of friends who moved there to Texas, I'm assuming, from here in Northeast Ohio to escape the snow. Boy, they are coping now. And Holly, as we close, we got about 30 seconds to a minute left. Give us a little perspective on this storm and then how it's impacting us here in Northeast Ohio.
Right. Dave, I'm so glad you said what you did. It does give such perspective to our forecast here because the truth is, even when you talk about the isolated severe weather days that we have, it's not like tornadoes are flying out of the sky here on a regular basis. Out of 365 days a year, I would venture to say 340 of those are pretty okay. And that's really a blessing. So yes, we have scattered snow today. This is the same system that is impacting those further south and west. We're on the back edge of it. We're going to see 1 to 3 inches of snow, and it kind of makes you grateful. We had a lot more earlier in the week, but again, we're getting through it, and we live in Northeast Ohio, and we have the equipment to deal with it, and certainly are used to it.
Yeah, and since we are here in Northeast Ohio, we know what it's like. Right. If you are wanting to help those in Texas, we have a story on WKYC.com. It says, how can you help the millions in Texas who don't have power, heat, or safety? So, and I'm sure I will go ahead and go in and put it in the comment section as well for everyone who wants to help. Jasmine's story is on WKYC.com, so you can learn more about this couple that is stuck in Texas, and we will continue to update you. Jasmine, you're keeping in contact with them, correct?
Yes. She's my hairstylist. What my hair looks like this. I'm like, when are you coming back? Jesus Christ.
You look great.
With that was the quote of the day. I love it.
You're beautiful no matter what.
Hey, Austin, where's yours? I hope not in Texas.
No, he lives in Rocky River. I'm good. Rob's good. Yeah,
Dave,
we're good.
Tourism Bureau just called Dave. They want his speech for come to Cleveland and live here.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
I love
Dave's the new face of the marketing campaign for Destination Cleveland.
All righty, guys. Well, thank you for joining us this morning for On the Go. You will see Maureen, Dave, and Holly during the Today Show, and the rest of us will join you tomorrow morning, starting at 4:30 a.m. on Go. Have a great day. Keep warm.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.